All right, guys, part two. Yesterday, we went over how to properly root your foot into the ground. How to properly root the foot into the ground and how to slightly externally rotate in order to engage the glutes and all of that and to keep everything out. So we have essentially covered from foot to hip. Now, mind you, I'm not going over stance width. I'm not going over all of that. I'm talking about the basics of every squat, whether it's a closed stance, high bar, zercher, front, it doesn't matter. So just kind of clear that up a little bit. That's why I'm not going over how wide you should be, sit back, knees forward, all of that. Today, we're going to focus on bracing. From the foot up, we're here now. We're essentially to the glutes, to roughly here. So this is the hardest part of squatting, in my opinion, especially once it gets heavy, because you're going to be thinking about everything else except this, which is why it needs to be so important, ingrained in every movement you do, not just the squat. If you're doing a dumbbell curl, root the floor, we're going to brace, and then we're going to curl. Same thing, chest fly, root the floor, brace, pull. All of it, everything, we're going to practice these drills here, okay? So, when you get up and under this bar here, as we talked about a few times before, you cannot brace if your chest is arched up, and you can't brace as well if your ass is stuck out. Okay, as you can see, this kind of looks like an alligator mouth almost, kind of, if that makes sense. So I'm opening up everything. Now I'm going to close it off. Okay, see, now it's like I closed that mouth, my pelvis and everything caved in. Now, this is too far. All right, there is a such thing as too far. We want to be stacked and neutral. We don't want the hips pulled up and under us real far. We just want to be nice and neutral and stacked. All right, so not arched up. You wouldn't want to take a punch like this. Mike Tyson's about to come up and hit you right here. You wouldn't stand up and do this for him. You brace down, you bear, lats, belly, boom, nice and stacked. See all this? So, when you get up under a bar, something you have to make sure is that you're able to get into a position that allows you to be here. So if you've got your hands really far in here and it's causing your chest to stick up real high like this, you can't brace, okay? So, neutral, has to stay stacked, all right? From there, the easiest ways to teach this for me is I want you to blow all the air out as hard as you can. I want you to blow it all out, and then right at the end, I want you to cough. And when you see that, you're going to see that everything just kind of tenses down. So, and we're going to put all of that pressure as we blew out and we flexed our core in and braced like we were going to take a punch or take a poop. All right, locked it down. Then you're going to fill it up with air in through your nose, last little bit through your mouth, and then flex all of that 360 degrees around the midsection. It's not just pushing your belly forward like, okay, see that? That's not what we're doing. It's 360 degrees all the way around. So, not belly forward, it's going to be all the way around. Think about actually trying to breathe and push this out. Okay, one thing that I really like doing here, damn it. Sorry guys. All right. So one of the reasons I tell my guys to wear a belt, I don't tell them to put it on tight. I like them to take it, pull it to just snug at best. This is not a tight belt, but practice making it a tight belt. All right, right now, full hand, go all the way through, it's no problem. All right, tighten. You've got to learn to expand, to rip this belt apart. So if you got the belt on so tight that it's constricting everything and you can't expand this out, you're not going to have a strong squat. So, rooted, screw into the floor, and then from there, I'm I'm gonna make sure that my glutes are flexed slightly by doing what I told you to do with the floor yesterday. And then I'm going to just take a big breath and try to bust this belt 360 degrees around. That's my goal, is to bust this metal buckle. So, as I walk out, the brace stays. I don't ever let this go. Even right now as I'm talking to you, you can see I'm flexing my core. I'm gonna let it go. Okay, so regrip the floor, rebrace. All right, Brittany, come to the side. All right, so now, as we talked about, a way to know if you're screwing this up, watch from the side. Right now, if my chest is gonna arch, that's a fault. My butt sticks back, that's a fault. Keep everything in line. Think about from the top of your head to your tailbone, pushing over in one motion. Whether it's high bar, low bar, or front squat, it's gonna stay in line. So, for a low bar, my type of sit back squat, now obviously, it's not gonna be a two-part motion. It's gonna be much more fluid once you've learned it. But you saw there was no okay, as you can see, that hinders depth, breaks the brace and everything. It's just not strong. So, single line, lats packed, glutes squeezed. Bust your belt. Make yourself as fat as possible, 360 degrees around. All right, now, same thing. Front squat, totally different squat. Same exact cues. Grab the floor, twist out, push into your belt. In one motion, keep the torso at the same angle. I hope that helps and kind of puts it into a little bit better view for people. Biggest thing, just stop with this overextension shit. If it looks weak, it probably is.